Hello, my name is Apodaca, and I would like to take some time to talk to you about myself. I'd like to talk to you about my past, some of what I've been through. I'd like to talk to you about my present, some of what I'm going through. But most importantly, I would like to talk to you about my future and where I'd like to go in life. Before I get too deep in that, though, I would like to take a moment to express my gratitude and thanks to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I want to thank Him for bringing me to this point in my life, for giving me a heart and mind focused on Him, and for giving me the understanding that my past mistakes and bad decisions do not have to be the sum of my future existence. I would also like to take some time out to thank the administration of Garland County Detention Center. Namely, I would like to thank Sheriff McCormick, Chief Elrod, Captain Cosgrove, and Lieutenant McPhee for allowing this group to be facilitated here at the jail. I would also like to give many thanks to Mr. Marty Haynes for his hard work, dedication, and patience that he exhibits on a daily basis with us in the substance abuse program. If it wasn't for this man, I wouldn't be standing here today. Lastly, I couldn't go on in my speaking today without expressing my gratitude to Cooperative Christian Ministries for taking the time to show their compassion and for allowing me to see that there really are honest, good-intended people who would love to see me succeed in life. They truly are a godsend. About myself, I may as well just dive right in and let you know that I've got a lengthy criminal history and that I have dealt with drug addiction my entire life. As far back as I can remember, I was introduced to drugs and alcohol at a very early age in my childhood. I am, in essence, the product of a broken and dysfunctional family. I grew up in the system, in and out of foster homes, living on the streets, and just trying to find a purpose and a place within a world in which I felt lost and alone and as if I had nowhere to turn to. Moving on from that though, I'm a grown man now, and it's time for me to make some real, tangible changes in my life. As I'm writing this, I am currently incarcerated, and it is my hope that as I'm reading this, you see me standing before you as a free man with a humble heart and an honest resolve to move forward in my life with a program of honest recovery. I want to change my life, and I want to break the cycle of my childhood so as not to allow that brokenness and dysfunctionality to be passed down to my children after me. I want to move forward in my life with diligence and dedication to become more than I am today. I want to one day be able to look back on this moment right now and say that it was worth it, that the hard work people put into me along the way, and with the hard work that I put into myself, we did in fact create a new man. The Getting Ahead program has opened my eyes in a variety of ways and has taught me that I can become a valuable asset to not only myself, but to the world around me as well. Learning how to network with resources in the community and to activate upon positive, healthy relationships is probably the greatest tool the program could have given me, second only to the ability to believe in myself and to know that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Every day, I am now encouraged with confidence and the knowledge that no matter what path I've come from, it does not have to determine the course of my future. I hope to one day find myself in a position to be able to give back and share with some troubled soul the gift that was so freely given to me. Thank you. So I was actually released, our graduation for the program was at 1 o'clock and I was released at 10 o'clock. And I had already talked to the jail administration that if I did manage to make it out of jail before the graduation, could I come back and be a part of it? And they were willing to do that, and it was really meant a lot to me to be able to go back into the jail, visitor coming through, visitor. And also I think it spoke a lot to my classmates, you know, like I said earlier about sometimes people go out of jails like a dog off of a leash. Well, they knew that I got out that morning, and they knew that I could have been doing a million other things, but I chose still to come back and to be a part of something that was bigger than me, because I honestly valued my relationship not only with the facilitators of the program and even the jail administration. You know, I love Miss Cosgrove, but I valued the relationship that I had with my classmates, the people that were in the trenches, so to speak, with me, day in and day out, working on recovery. Because we were in there stretching ourselves, you know, we're in there trying to find who we are and trying to get down to the meat of the process so that way we could have a better chance at success, you know, in stepping out of not only the Getting Ahead program, but the substance abuse program as well. And I think that I felt that it would give them extended encouragement to know, hey, Leo's doing this thing, because not only was I participated in the Getting Ahead program, but I had already graduated the substance abuse program, and I stayed on in the program as a mentor, leading by example for other clients in the program. And I through my own self-consciousness, I wanted to let them guys know that I wasn't only speaking a bunch of shiny words in groups and classes. This is actually the lifestyle that I want to walk out, and I want to live this for the rest of my life, because it's so much better than what I came from, And I think it also meant a lot to the jail administration and the facilitators of the program too, to see that, hey, this guy, he's not just talking the game, but he's actually putting forth effort to walk as well. So it really meant a lot to me, and it means a lot to me to be doing this right now, because if I can reach out and help somebody, even if it's just, I don't even have to be sitting face to face with them. If somebody could just see my story and understand that this is a man who was beaten down, broken, lost, abused, neglected in life, and then in essence grew up to inadvertently destroy his own life as well, but then found a point in his life where he was essentially broken and he wanted to fix it, and that I was humble enough to surrender my heart to God and allow him to work in my life and allow him to work in my mind and allow him to teach me and show me his ways and to write his word on the tablet of my heart, and I think too, it's very important for me to remember where I came from, not in a remorseful reflection of my past, but to know so as not to take for granted the beauty that I have in my life right now, and who knows what's going to come in the future. A lot of times in my past, part of the reasons that I've fallen a lot is because I would get to a point of stability and I would have success in my life, and then I would get this distorted mindset that I had got me there, and failed to realize that it was God doing the work through me and in me, and when I allow myself to begin to think that way, that's when the ego starts to creep in, and I take for granted the good things that I have, and I've also learned to become a good steward. Scripture even talks about us being good stewards of the gifts that we're given, and I didn't understand what that meant before until I would receive those gifts, and then I would lose them, through disobedience or just the way that I was living. It's like, wow, I gotta treat my stuff better. I mean, that might seem kind of simple to some people, but when you grow up the way that I grew up, and not to use it as a crutch, because it's not by no means, but when I said that I grew up all my life in addiction, I mean, from a very early age, I was 4 or 5 years old, smoking weed and drinking alcohol. By the time I was 9, 10, 11 years old, I was doing hard drugs, and this was all come from in the home, my mother, my father, my brothers. And well, when it come time to where I was making my own decisions in life, I thought that that's the way we were supposed to live. I thought that's the way the rest of the world was supposed to live. I thought the people who weren't on drugs were doing it wrong, and so it made it really hard for me, because I had to face the fact that everything I had learned in my life was wrong, and I had a really big problem with authority. So anybody who tried to present change to me, I'd reject them outright, and I would just go back to my manner of living. And think too, when I wanted to start incorporating change, when I really did have a heart for change in my life, and I think this is why programs like Getting Ahead are so important, because I didn't have nobody to turn to. I didn't have the resources of people who understood, hey, we know you messed it up, we know you got it wrong. If you really want the help, though, we would like to help you. And it's not done out of just, I'm going to help you, but I'm going to hold it over your head for the rest of your life. It's like, no, I'm going to help you because it's amazing, because when I succeed, they succeed. And I think in essence that's what their mission is, that's what their goal is. And I think that's too, when we were talking about, advice that I would give to a facilitator, is to have that mindset that when the people you're teaching are succeeding, you're succeeding too. And I think that's very important.